And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today's video. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that like button. You know it helps us out a lot, and it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this excellent content. Now, y'all, check this out. I know a lot of y'all have been following the Fani Willis saga, and things are heating up. As you know, Fani has a couple of different things going on. She has to maybe appear before a Senate subpoena in order to testify. She's also been taken off the Trump case, which she's appealing. Both of these things she's appealing. And now, as the latest shoe to drop, Fani is being ordered to pay money. But in order for you to have the context, first we're going to watch this news report about what happened, and then we'll get into what Fani has to pay.
District Attorney Fani Willis must turn over documents related to her election interference case. She was sued by a conservative nonprofit claiming Willis was ignoring their requests, and the judge agreed. Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon is live outside of the Fulton County Courthouse. And Doug, these documents are also linked to the January 6th investigation.
Yeah, presumably they are, and they were made through the open records request that we have here in Georgia and across the country. Anyone can use it. We use it all the time as journalists. It lets you get your hands on public records. And tied to that law, there are some really specific timeframes in which officials have to respond and either grant or deny those requests. The judge said yesterday that Willis just plain ignored those timeframes. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis must turn over documents requested by conservative nonprofit Judicial Watch. The group wanted Willis's communications with the federal January 6th committee and Trump's D.C. prosecutor Jack Smith as she carried out her own case with Trump at the center.
It is clear that they did not want to comply or were unable or unwilling to comply, and complying with this law is mandatory.
Attorney Josh Schiffer says the Open Records Act is meant for transparency and sets strict standards for responses.
The argument from these conservative groups and other groups trying to get information is that Fani Willis can very easily collect this information, it's all digital, and send it over.
Judge Robert McBurney agreed, telling Willis she had 5 days to produce the documents, adding, quote, "The court has in effect declared that she has violated the Open Records Act."
Some of those communications are absolutely of public interest. They're not protected by any privilege.
As for what's in the documents, that's relatively unknown. Cooperation between state and federal agencies isn't uncommon, but Emory law professor Jonathan Nash says it could perpetuate something Trump has been saying for years.
There have been suggestions by the former and now incoming president that there's been coordination with the Department of Justice, with local prosecutors, including in Fulton County. I think what would be interesting, if it's there, is some evidence of coordination.
And no comment from the DA's office. They may still appeal this decision. Speaking of Trump, his attorneys today here in Georgia filed a motion asking the judge to dismiss every single charge against him in this indictment. They said he is a sitting president. You can't prosecute sitting presidents, and so the case should be thrown out. Now, of course, Willis can wait the 4 years until Trump is out of office to resume that prosecution. From downtown Atlanta, Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
All right, now with that in mind, let's take a look at what happened to Fani just yesterday. Fani Willis has 2 weeks to pay conservative group thousands of dollars. This came out just today, just hours ago. The conservative group Judicial Watch announced on Tuesday that a Georgia judge ruled Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis must cover about $20,000 in fees related to an open records request. Okay, Newsweek reached out to Fani for a comment. The ruling is the latest blow to Willis, who in December was disqualified from the case against President-elect Donald Trump. Now, this was, of course, into his alleged election rigging attempts back in 2020. Her handling of the case sparked criticism after an attorney representing one of Trump's co-defendants, this is Ashley Merchant, revealed she had a romantic relationship with one of the attorneys hired to lead the prosecution against Trump. So in other words, Fani was getting it on with Nathan Wade. The order stems from an open records case in which Judicial Watch asked Willis's office to hand over any documents that would show potential communications with the Department of Justice Special Counsel Jack Smith. Now, y'all, in case you're not following this, the U.S. Department of Justice had a special counsel, Jack Smith. Now, remember, Fani is a Georgia state official. She is not a federal official. But both Fani's office in the state of Georgia and the United States Department of Justice were both looking into Trump for similar reasons, let's say, okay? All surrounding the election in January 6th in 2021. Now, what Judicial Watch wanted is these records from Fani saying, did you have communication with Jack Smith's office in the Department of Justice? Fani said, we're not turning those documents over, or they just failed to do so. Judicial Watch won, and now not only do they get the documents, but Fani also has to pay them $20,000 because she didn't do her job properly, is what this is saying. Superior Court of Fulton County Judge Robert McBurney wrote in a January 3rd order that Willis's office violated the open records request by identifying responsive documents. So they found documents that they should have turned over and then categorizing them as exempt, but earlier saying no such documents existed. Quote, even if the records proved to be just that, exempt from disclosure for sound public policy reasons, this late revelation is a patent violation of the ORA. This would be the Open Records Act. And for none of this is there any justification, substantial or otherwise. No one searched until prodded by civil litigation. So y'all, you can see that the walls, they're tightening around Fani, y'all. She is taken off of the Trump case. She is subject to subpoena by the Georgia Senate. She is found to be not doing her job properly as it relates to this open records request. She has to pay money due to that fact. And Judicial Watch apparently is still on her, you know what, about whether she was working with Jack Smith's office to try to bring down Trump. And on top of all of that, Trump is now going to be president in just a couple of weeks. So, you know, listen, I know a lot of y'all are Fani haters. I'm just reporting what's happening. I'm not taking a stance on this side or that side. I'm just bringing y'all the news. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to put your comments down below. Definitely hit the thumbs up if you haven't, and also subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Appreciate y'all watching, and we will see y'all back in the next one.